Hello, this is Boneless VR Devlog 6, and I've got some new stuff to show. A lot of new stuff. We're getting pretty close to. I think I wanted to release a demo or a beta soon, but we're getting pretty close to like a full release, really, because like I got some new knives and enemies. I got the enemies working, so I just need guns, which will take a while, but guns, and then I just like polish everything where like maybe I have a map where you can have enemies come at you and fight you and stuff like that. But a lot of the interaction is finished except for guns, so yeah. So anyway, I'll go through everything I added. I don't really recall everything perfectly because I don't really prepare that well for these devlogs, but in the last video you might have heard me talking about how the forearms were broken, and they're fixed now. So you can see, the forearms now exist. They did not exist in the last devlog because they were broken, so there was no point. But yeah, now they work nicely, and they collide and they work, so that's a good fix. There's also this new UI, so I moved the UI from there, and you press the what's it called, the X button on your left controller, on Oculus Touch that is, and it opens up the UI, and there's a few options here. So music, you can turn that down or up. External camera to follow the player, whatever you want. I'll make that, wait, I'll do that later. Yeah, so you're over here now. I did some things with dynamic posing. There's just a small little change to when it kind of moves the fingers, so it looks, I think, a little better. There's still like a few times when dynamic posing won't look great, but I think it's alright for the most part. So as you saw in the UI, it says can kill dummy, and that's because if I take one of these knives, one of these new knives, and I turn that on, then I can stab this guy and he'll die. And that's obviously a feature with the other enemies that I'll show you later as well. So I'll show off the new knives. We've got a few karambits, a few other knives, a few interesting ones like this one. So there's 6 new knives in total. So I'll go through them all. There's this one, and a karambit. There's this one, and there's this weird one that has the blade like that. And there's another karambit, and all of them can be grabbed backwards except for this one. So, oh yeah, this is here because this is where I'm going to keep the guns. Oh yeah, and katana still works. And this feels good with the two-handed interaction since I fixed the forearms as well. So that's good. So I will show the enemies, I guess. It's the next thing I need to show. I'll actually just explain a little bit about the forearms. So the issue was with the forearms, I was targeting a thing called animation rigging in Unity, which is sort of a built-in Unity IK system. So it will calculate sort of the bones in your arm where they should be based on like a target, and the target is your controllers. And I was targeting that physically for the physical kind of ragdoll of the forearms, or not just the forearms, but the entire arm. And it would target that, and then another more advanced solver would target the hands of that ragdoll. But the issue was the forearms wouldn't actually exactly be where the ragdoll forearms were, because there's nothing that was targeting the ragdoll forearms. This is very confusing, I'm sorry. But now what I'm doing is using the more complex IK system in the beginning, then targeting the ragdoll to that IK, then using the same IK and targeting the ragdoll. So it all ends up in the same position. And it leads to the forearms actually, like, colliding where you see them existing. So that's nice. I'll pull this katana up to spawn an enemy. And I will turn on the external camera. This is an enemy. He's a ragdoll, and he just follows you around. And he'll punch you, and, you know, when he punches you, your screen goes red and you take damage, because there's an entire damage system going on now. And the way that works, let me just make you follow me. So the way that works, just a quick way to explain it, is he hits you, you take damage, and 5 seconds after he hits you, you start to heal at a rate of 4 points per second. So that's your full health is healed in 25 seconds, essentially, if you were at 0 health. But you'd be dead if you were at 0 health. Let me just take you over to here. So that's the healing system. If you get to 0, of course, you die. I'll show that in a little bit. Your spine caves in, your screen goes red, and it blurs out, and it respawns. So it's simple, but it works well. So yeah, this ragdoll, I'll show that he's a ragdoll. Let me go back to... He's a ragdoll and everything, and I can hit him and he can fall over. I'll just move this back for a second, and I can push him over if I want. He takes damage when I punch him. There's no blood or anything. There was, but I removed it because it was kind of bad. And blood is an annoying thing with, like, sort of Unity advanced graphics things like shaders, and I don't really know about that stuff, so I just left it for the meantime. But yeah, full ragdoll. You can sweep up his feet really easily because I made the feet weaker. He takes damage from punches, he takes damage from stabs, he'll take damage from bullets when they're added. He follows you around with a nav mesh in Unity, so that's sort of just path tracing. So if I say, you know, go over to here, over here, he'll go around the objects to get to me. Except for that one, because I didn't actually make the nav mesh for that yet, because I just added it. But you can see he can't go into, you know, he is trying to get over this because I didn't nav mesh it, but he can't, generally he can't go into objects, and he'll go around them, as you can see here. So yeah, I'll stab him to show. Okay, he got hit by the camera. Stop that from following player. Stab him. You can see he makes a noise. You can hear he makes a noise. And then he'll do a little, like, hit thing if you hit him in the torso. And then torso usually is 2 hits to kill him. So now he's dead. Let's spawn in another one, and I can show you. Stab to the head is dead immediately, obviously. You know what, let me take this again. So there's different, it randomly spawns in a different model for the character or the enemy, but there's a few different enemies. There's about 5, I think, that'll spawn. So you can see a different one there. And he is dead, and these guys will despawn over time as well. So I'll show some of the knives. I really like these knives because you can do, like, tricks with them and stuff. So I like to go, like, stab him and then do that. Something about the physics of the knives just makes them really fun to spin around. I'll try some more knives. The karambits are pretty cool as well. Oh yeah, and there's some... It's not perfect, but there's some measures in place now to just prevent the ragdoll from doing that. It's supposed to unstab, and then I think I actually know why that's broken. It's when you... I'll show here. When you distance grab an object, it delays its collision for a second, so it won't go through here. It'll just phase right through, and then you'll grab it, but it's not working there. So that's why that guy flew around the place. But that should be fixed. It's no big deal. This one I can show here. The piercing, it actually goes from this angle, so I can show you that it's like that. So that's cool. Throwing knives is interesting. Because of the damper, it doesn't really go into them that well. But, I mean, it worked out. Yeah. And some of the colliders, like on the hands, are just slightly off. But whatever. So yeah, you can see that's doing that. I will spawn an enemy and I'll die. You can see what it's like to be dead. I need to make the punching quicker, actually. That's another thing I need to do. So your screen goes red with blood. And he hits you another time, it goes more red. Can't really see. And the third time, it collapses your spine and then you fade out and respawn. So, that's knives, enemies. There's not much else to show. I guess I'll show some more parkour with like the forearms fixed as well. So oh yeah, something that's kind of annoying. When you climb up, just so that you can vault over something, you kind of have to move away from the ladder, and people kind of like don't realize that when they first play, but you do have to do that, and it's kind of annoying. So let's climb. Oh yeah, and the climbing feels better with the new forearm, with the forearms fixed now, which is nice. So let's go ziplining. Oh my god. This is Devlog 6, got a lot done. I'll hopefully have guns by the next Devlog. And then we can work on releasing the game, so that's nice. So I will see you in the next Devlog. Goodbye.